Did you know that in Life is Strange Season 1 Episode 5, if you incorrectly enter the code at this door 50 times, Max will break the fourth wall?
I'm going to make the designers pay for all these bullshit code puzzles.
Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and if you're feeling extra kind, please consider clicking subscribe if you haven't already. As always, a huge thank you to my wonderful Patreon backers and YouTube channel members for their awesome support. To learn more, click the link in the description. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. Now, in the last episode of this series, I shared some of my favourite idle animations from the superhero-filled block-breaking adventure game, and just as I asked, you guys suggested a few more. Like I've said before, I love idle animations in video games, so if you know of any that you think are worth sharing, please let me know in the comments. Next up is Saints Row 2. Now, Saints Row 2 is no stranger to this series, with its last appearance being as recent as episode 133, where we danced the night away. Well, today's Saints Row 2 detail isn't going to blow your socks off, but I think it's really cool. The sound made when changing the in-game radio station to another station is different depending on the age of the car. For example, here is a relatively new car. Here is the sound heard in a kind of old car.
Funk 98.
And here is the sound a really old car makes. Like I said, this detail isn't the most mind-blowing detail that I've ever shared. I mean, who pays attention to the sound made when switching radio stations? But personally, I think it's really cool. Next up is the Eggcellent Fallout 3. Now, something that I've always been fascinated by are Rube Goldberg machines. For those of you that don't know, a Rube Goldberg machine is a chain reaction type contraption designed to perform a usually mundane task. Well, you can find one of these machines in Fallout 3, but the task it performs is anything but mundane. At the Gold Ribbon Grocers, you can find this. So standing on the pressure plate will cause a chain reaction to happen, resulting in a body falling from the ceiling. Now, this body was hiding missiles and a mini nuke, so I guess we should be thankful that the fall didn't blow us up. The other Fallout 3 detail isn't as intricate, but personally I think it's even smarter. The Enclave base can be found at Raven Rock, and it's kind of what you'd expect from a military base. Of course, an army isn't much use if they're hungry, so at the base you can find a mess hall. Again, it's what you'd expect of military dining quarters, but there is one big design flaw. You see, the floor of the hall is grated, meaning it's very easy to drop things in between the gaps, with next to no hope of getting them back. For proof of this, look under the floor and you can see all of the lost knives and forks that have been dropped during dinner time. Like I said, I think that this detail is brilliant. I don't know many other developers who would pay this much attention to the little things. Up next is Max Payne 3. Now, Max Payne 3 is another game that has appeared loads of times in this series before, but today's detail highlights the more thoughtful side of Max. In most games, when you die, you get the customary game over screen, you select reload checkpoint, and you're back in the action. Max Payne 3 is the same, though there is one level in the game where that isn't entirely true. During the nightclub level, if you refuse to give chase to the kidnappers and instead wait on the dance floor, this will happen.
This was useless. I'd been drinking since breakfast, and I'd only gotten up at lunchtime. I had about as much chance of finding them as I did of waking up tomorrow full of the joys of spring. I was lost. The last time I'd been in a nightclub, it was in a different century, and I'd left head first out of the back door with a foot up my ass. The girls were gone, and so was I.
So Max will deliver a brief monologue before the usual fail screen hits. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the only time in the game where Max does this, but if you know of any others, I'm happy to be proved wrong. Next up is Apex Legends. Now, I've said before that one of the best parts of Apex are the crumbs of story you sometimes come across when playing a game. A good example of this can be found at Rampart's big Mord. If you head inside, you can find a mural on the wall, and if you ping it, each character will have a unique line of dialogue. Here are just some of my favourites.
Oh. Wow. We look... I told Ramya that wasn't my good side. And that collar doesn't work on me at all. Let's move on.
Rascals. Geniuses. And the occasional loon. I can't think of a better description of family than that.
What? No motion blur? Come on, Ramya, that's just insulting.
You know, if she's giving me a monobrow again, I'm just... Oh. Huh. I look good. Thanks, Ramya.
When Papa passed, I thought I'd spend the rest of my life alone. I was wrong.
Now, I don't know if there are any other map locations like this one, but if you do, please let me know in the comments. Right, let's end today's video with the excellent Cyberpunk 2077. First up is the perfect way to ruin a funeral. During the Jeopardy gig, you are tasked with breaking into a funeral home, but unfortunately it's very full of angry enemies. Now, according to Cyberpunk, funerals in the future will have holograms of whoever died just standing there, looking all creepy and stuff. Well, we can use this hologram to our advantage, as if we hack it, this will happen. I mean, in a world full of hackers and cybercriminals, who thought that dead people holograms were a good idea? The final detail for today's video is a detail that I cannot believe I've never covered before. At the beginning of the game, V's partner Jackie dies. This isn't a spoiler, by the way, it was all over the game's marketing. Well, if you'd like, you can say a final goodbye. If you call Jackie's phone after his death, this will happen.
This number is temporarily unavailable. Please leave a message.
Jack, I got no clue where you are. What happened to you? It all got so fucked up. If you're there somewhere. Fuck. What am I doing?
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for more Easter eggs and details from your favourite games. If you are still listening, let me know, because I honestly think that people don't watch this far, and I'll speak to you all soon.